Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our program will begin momentarily. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. Up. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you to the Military District of Washington Joint Color Guard and the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. Welcome to the 2022 Military Spouse Employment Partnership New Partner Induction Ceremony. It is so great to be back in person. Today marks our 11th induction ceremony and our first in-person event in more than 3 years. My name is Eddie Menser, and in addition to leading the Department of Defense's Spouse Education and Career Opportunities Program, I also have the distinct honor of serving as your MC today. I am also the spouse of an active duty Air Force colonel and have experienced many of the challenges that our spouses face every day as they balance military life with working life. I would like to start by recognizing our official party. Mrs. Linda Gilday, the spouse of the Chief of Naval Operations, accompanied today by her husband, Admiral Michael Gilday, the Chief of Naval Operations. Sir, I'm sure there is a protocol officer rolling over in their grave right now, but when you come to a military spouse-centric event, Mrs. Gilday gets top billing. Also joining us today is the Honorable Gil Cisneros, Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. Mr. Thomas Constable, Acting Assistant Secretary of Defense, Manpower and Reserve Affairs. Honorable Ash Vazirani, Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. Your host for today's event, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Military Community and Family Policy, Mrs. Patricia Montez Barron. Representing our legacy partners from USAA, Mrs. Chrissy Johnston, Senior Advisor for Talent Acquisition, and Mrs. Lori Campagato, Staff Auditor for the Sales Practices and Conduct Team. Also joining us today are 5 of our previous Deputy Assistant Secretaries of Defense for Military Community and Family Policy, Ms. Leslie Arsht, Mr. Robert Gordon, Mrs. Rosemary Williams, Mr. Ron Cohane, and Ms. Kim Joyner. And thank you to all of our leaders, both military and civilian, from across the military services, the Department of Defense, and the federal government for joining us today. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to improving the employment prospects for military spouses. While today's focus is on improving the employment outlook for military spouses, we must never lose sight of the challenges we face on a daily basis. Absent from today's event is Mr. Jason Phoebus, Marine Corps veteran and one of our key partners at Kroll, an MSEP inductee from 2021. Planning to be here today, Jason passed away suddenly on the 30th of September. Thank you, Jason, for your service to our country and your commitment to the work we do here in MSEP. At this time, I would like to invite our host for today's event to the stage, a military spouse of more than 30 years and a champion for military families. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Patricia Montez Barron, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Military Community and Family Policy.
I need glasses. Oh, thank you, Eddie, so much for your warm welcome, and thank you, all of you, for your warm welcome. Hello, special guests. Hi, DASDs. So good to see all of you. And more importantly, hello, MSEP partners. Hello, and to our new partners, welcome. We're so happy and excited that you're with us today. You know, we just keep growing and growing, which is music to my heart. 2022 inductees, thank you for becoming partners and committing to recruiting, hiring, promoting, and most importantly, retaining military spouses in your ranks. Longtime partners, thank you for enduring the support, for your enduring support of military spouses. As a military spouse myself, thank you for your support. Again, special thanks to our distinguished guests, and what a pleasure it is to be here today for the MSEP New Partner Induction Ceremony. I've been to many of these before, but I always sat way in the back, so this is kind of fun. I'm so honored to witness the induction of over 70 new partners, and I'm so proud of you, our partners and our military spouses that are in the audience. In my 30 years as a military spouse, I have to tell you, I had many jobs. I started out as a nurse, but nursing didn't always work with our moving, and so I did an awful lot of different kinds of things. We crossed many continents and countless states, and as we moved around and our kids grew up, I had to get creative with work. Did you know that I was a tour guide at the United States Military Academy at West Point? I sure was, and I did a pretty good job. One time, I took an entire bus full of Australian visitors, and they gave me a great tip, so I'm really happy about that. So being able to kind of reinvent myself everywhere that I went, it gave me an awful lot of flexibility to work and support our family while raising our kids. I called it McDonald's money. Meanwhile, Mike took classes and he continued on with his career, and we were always very supportive of him. It seemed that was our focus, even for the kids, believe it or not. We always wanted to make sure that we were right behind him and helping him do what he needed to do. But we had a lot of adventures too, over a dozen PCSs and some of them overseas, and I can tell you stories about traveling with dirty laundry and boxes, but I won't. In Germany, I struggled to get hired as a nurse, and it turns out you have to know German to be a nurse in Germany, who knew? But I also struggled to get hired in several United States places as well, because you have to have that state license. And over time, I ended up with 7 state licenses, not because I worked in every single state, but because when I was 5 years old, my father passed away in a car accident, and that taught me to always be prepared. You never know, and so I always wanted to be prepared with an active license. So I'm so grateful to see more and more employers who respect the sacrifices of military spouses join our ranks. I'm just thrilled. We juggle many obstacles that civilians don't always juggle. The average civilian has never heard of PCS. Can anybody tell me what PCS stands for? Permanent change of station. That's when we go from one location to another. And military spouses move an average of 2 to 3, 4 times, 2, 3, 4 years at a time. Our unemployment rate kind of hovers around 21%, which is far above the civilian rate, as many of you know. And it's very challenging as well to find childcare. Finding childcare for all of us is challenging right now, but for military spouses especially. Also finding a home, making new friends. We always joke that you're at your new installation, you get the first day of school paperwork, and on the paperwork it says, who is your emergency contact, and you don't know anybody, so you just find somebody that you're running into at the PX, or and you're like, hi, my name's Patty, would you be my emergency contact? And usually they oblige. But each step along the way of my military life, I relied on my own creativity and resilience, along with the generosity of employers who recognize my value as a military spouse. And I do owe my employers so much because of their ability to support me and be flexible with my needs. Partners, please know, you make spouses feel very special. You give them a sense of relief, but more importantly, you give them a sense of self. A sense of self. I am somebody because I work for this company. And not only that, they know that an employer who cares about them gets them too. I encourage you to go explore, get creative, get to know the military spouses that you hire, because you'll be very, very glad that you did. And some partners, as a matter of fact, have created military spouse-friendly leave policies or programs to transfer jobs as they PCS, and some have launched internal fellowship programs. The sky's the limit. Talk to military spouses and find out what they need. In this 11th year of MSEP, the department is committed more than ever to taking care of our people. In the words of Secretary Austin, we have a sacred obligation to take care of our people. Our people and our readiness remain inextricably connected. We will do everything we can to support them. That comes from the very top of the Department of Defense. So empowering new growth and gaining employees will help make it happen. There's company in numbers. We are so proud to have your partnership, and I hope you're going to spread the word about MSEP and how others can join us as well. We need to continue to grow, because it's only great that we work together to support our military and our military spouses. Now it is with great honor that I introduce to you the Honorable Gil Cisneros, the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. There is no greater champion for military spouse employment and military families, and he also happens to be a great boss. Thank you so much.
Afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Patty. It's amazing to have a military spouse as our Deputy Assistant Secretary for Military Community and Family Policy. So hello and welcome to MSEP Engage 2022. Speaking of military spouses, thank you so much to our MC and the manager of the Department's Spouse Education and Career Opportunity Program, Eddie Metzer. Another military spouse doing amazing work for our military families, so let's give them both a round of applause. I want to welcome our military spouses from the National Capital Region here with us today and all those that are joining us virtually. I especially want to recognize and thank Admiral and Mrs. Gilday for attending here today. So you're the first service chief to ever attend a MSEP induction. But having you in attendance really amplifies the importance of ensuring our military spouses are able to find and maintain the career opportunities they desire. And having you here today is really showing how important this issue is to the department. So thank you both for being here today. And of course, I want to welcome and congratulate and thank the more than 70 new employer partners who have joined the Military Spouse Employment Partnership here today. Today we're celebrating your commitments and induction, and this marks the culmination of a robust vetting process, all of which clearly demonstrated that you, the class of 2023, are truly committed to increasing employment opportunities for our military spouses. You've joined an elite group that opens you to the military spouse community and the diverse skills and talents that they offer. With these latest inductions, we're up to more than 600 total MSEP partners since we started this program back in 2011. You're probably going to hear that number frequently over this weekend because we are proud of our partners. Here's another incredible number. Because of our partnerships, we connected more than 250,000 military spouses to employment opportunities across all industry sectors in the corporate and federal spaces. More than 40,000 military spouses reported as hired by our partners since last October, our largest hiring level ever. This is a testament to all of you, our enduring and new MSEP partners, and I can't wait to see those numbers in 2023, so let's applaud all our partners we can for doing that. So, this continues to be a team effort, and I'd also like to thank the White House staff and representatives for their ongoing commitment to supporting our military families in ways that really make a difference. First Lady Jill Biden launched MSEP in 2011 and has put the needs of military families front and center with initiatives on employment and entrepreneurship, military child education, health, and well-being. As our First Lady said in an event last year, military and veteran families, caregivers, and survivors may not wear a uniform, but you serve and sacrifice for us all. So much of a ship's power is unseen beneath the waves, the engines, the anchor, the rudders that give it directions and purpose. You are the rudder that steers our military, and supporting your physical, social, and emotional health is a national security imperative. Of course, we know Admiral Gilday, our Chief of Naval Operations, really enjoys those nautical references, but our First Lady's message is important. We see our military doing amazing work above the waterline, but it's support of our families and communities that give us a direction and purpose. And we must make sure that they're all being cared for and supported so we can accomplish our mission. Today we have approximately 1.3 million active duty service members combined in the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Space Force. Those 1.3 million service members have more than 1.5 million family members whom they care for daily. Of this number, approximately 570,000 are spouses. That's a lot of important people that must remain committed to supporting. We know our Spouses Employment Career Opportunities Program and MSEP play a critical role in the mission readiness by helping our military families live fulfilling and rewarding lives. Positive mental, physical, and financial well-being all contribute to mission readiness. Mental well-being includes a sense of accomplishment and boost in confidence military spouses feel when they find the right job and their careers are on track, or when they become successful business owners. This is an exciting 3 days for all involved. Employers will tap into real military spouse talent with great speakers, breakout sessions, and networking events. Military spouses can connect with each other, share tips and best practices, learn more about partners, and meet with them on Thursday at our first ever in-person hiring fair. This event is just not about the spouses. It's also about employers asking how they can make the companies more military friendly and spouse ready. Here, employers can get a sense of what makes military families tick and what challenges they face every day. Military spouses bring an incredible, unique perspective along with their amazing talent to the table. They are adaptable, resilient, dedicated hard workers who understand service and mission accomplishments. I know all of our partners will leave here with the fresh ideas and new connections with like-minded organizations that will further enhance your participation in this program. As many of you may know, last month, Secretary Austin released another round of initiatives as part of our Taking Care of People campaign. These initiatives, many of which went into effect this month, specifically targeted efforts to secure affordable basic needs, make moves easier, further strengthen our support to families, and expand spousal employment. Expanding spousal employment is a priority for the department and is essential when it comes to strengthening the economic security of our service members and their families. That's why it's so important for you all to be here today, working together to get more spouses trained and employed. Now, thanks to Secretary Austin's Taking Care of People initiatives, MSEP is going to expand even further. He directed that the number of MSEP employers partners increase by at least 10% before the end of this year alone. And guess what? Mission accomplished. Today's inductees represent an increase of more than 10%, and we are not stopping here. We already have several more potential partners in the pipeline for the class of 2023. Another initiative within Taking Care of Our People is knocking down other barriers to spouse employment by ordering the increase of non-competitive direct hire authority for military spouses in the Department of Defense and further expanding remote work and telework options to help military spouses build portable careers. We are also focusing on ways to accelerate the development of more interstate compacts to make it easier for spouses to take their professional licenses across state lines. And that's just a sampling of what the department is doing to improve spouse employment and family support right now. MSEP is helping to eliminate the barriers military spouses have faced for decades, finding employment, maintaining career progression, and pursuing entrepreneurship. An even brighter future is ahead with new and existing technologies and opportunities that will expand our reach even further together. But we must get the word out so we can knock down this year's partnership numbers out of the park next year. Please spread the word about the MSEP partnership with our businesses. Let them know about the amazing pool of talent available in the military spouse community. I will leave you with a few questions to consider over the next few days. What makes an MSEP partner successful? What feedback and listening tools do you have in place in your organization so you can implement and adjust policies to further support military spouse employment? How can the department further support you as an employer or a spouse? Spouses, please make sure you check out MilitaryOneSource.com. Again, please make sure you check out MilitaryOneSource.com. And I'll say it a third time. Please make sure you check out MilitaryOneSource.com for the latest resources and listings, and please network, network, network. I know you will have a great conference this week because everyone in this room and online is dedicated to sharing ideas and resources, solving problems, and discovering new opportunities. Have a great event, and back to you, Eddie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Undersecretary Cisneros and DASD Barron. Your continued efforts across the spectrum of support for our service members and their families is greatly appreciated. It is my pleasure to welcome our next speaker to the stage. With a career in infrastructure management that has spanned more than 40 years across corporate, federal, and the nonprofit sectors, enduring 19 moves, working remotely before remote work was a thing, raising 2 boys into young men, and completing a master's in public administration from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government, where she incidentally met her husband, there is no bigger champion for military spouse employment. Please welcome Mrs. Linda Gilday.
Secretary Cisneros, Secretary Barron, and Mr. Menser. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great privilege to be here with you today. I'm so happy to speak on behalf of military spouses and to say thank you to the new MSEP members that are joining today, this week. I want to say thank you to those new partners that are joining. By supporting MSEP, you're joining an incredible network of government, nonprofit, private sector organizations who are committed to helping our spouses. And you're making a considerable difference to the military families. You're opening your doors to a very qualified group of committed, adaptive, resilient, and creative group of men and women who are eager to have jobs, eager to get started in a new community when they have to move, and are very grateful for the opportunity to do so. They're educated, they're trained, they're just what you need. Thank you for doing what you're doing. So there are about, in the U.S. military, about, 1 million spouses. So I pulled the data, and for the Navy, there are about 144,000 spouses. So here's what the data shows. Out of that 144,000, there are approximately 76,000 who are employed. And what that means is there's 67,000 who are not employed. And that could be for many reasons. It could be you've got young families, it's just not your season of life, you maybe haven't finished your education, or you have other interests, or you're a full-time volunteer. But there are a very significant number of those who do want work. So even if you take 10% of that, you're talking about 6,700 spouses today in the Navy that are looking to be hired. And so where are those people? And geographically considering where they are in the Navy, in the US, they're mostly in California and Virginia. So I encourage those of you who have offices in California and Virginia to seek those Navy spouses, and I'm sure they'll be very happy to talk to you. Spouses, I encourage you to remain strong, to keep looking, to keep networking, and keep trying to do what you can to keep your professional growth going. If you have to move off track a little bit to move into a different organization, I'm sure that these new MSEP members are more than happy to talk to you about that. It's just what I call a win-win, this partnership between MSEP and the spouses who are eager to be employed. So I'm encouraged by the momentum that you have going and all the partnerships you're forming, and I'm excited for the spouses out there as well, as professionals and as military spouses who we all want to make a difference. We're all serving, all the spouses out there are serving in their own way, being a spouse to the partner and who's serving, but we also want to have our own careers and our own opportunities to grow professionally in our private lives. So can I ask all the military spouses in the room to stand, please, and let's give a round of applause to them. And I should say thank you, and please stand to the MSEP new members, but I'm sure that'll come later. So thank you again for having me, and I look forward to the rest of the ceremony today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilday, for your time today, but most importantly, for setting an example of what is achievable for military spouses. In 2022, USAA celebrated 100 years of executing its mission to facilitate the financial security of its members, associates, and their families by providing a full range of highly competitive financial products consistent with their core values of service, loyalty, honesty, and integrity. USAA is a legacy enduring partner who started as an Army spouse employment partner in 2005. Please provide a warm welcome to military spouses, Ms. Chrissy Johnson, Senior Advisor for Talent Acquisition, and Ms. Lori Campagato, Staff Auditor for the Sales Practices and Conduct Risk Team for USAA, to share their experiences as an MSEP partner and military spouses.
So I had a whole list of things I was going to say, and they said it all. So this is going to be short and sweet for you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for inviting us, and more importantly, thank you to the new partners. Your faithful service in support of our military community, thank you. You have no idea what that means as a military spouse to raise your hand and say, I support you. And they've already said it. What we go through, what we've done, but what we can bring to you, to your company, to your organization. As a military spouse, I understand the unique challenges. So does my partner, Lori. But at USAA, we know what it means to serve. And I know that our speech is probably the last one holding you up on your induction, so I'm going to make it quick. We do know what it means to serve, but it's not just being military friendly, and it's not just you signing your name to be a partner for MSEP. It is also being military ready, right? It is also being prepared so when your military spouses and veterans come into your organization that they have a place to belong, that there's a camaraderie there, there's a support network. Things that you can do, demonstrating that you are military ready, is having DBGs internally so they can have a place to go to talk. And just, reaching out to your other partners as you meet and make connections throughout this, the rest of this week. I'm holding up Lori, but it is about making those connections. It is not a competition. It doesn't matter if you work for USAA or Wells Fargo or Bank of America. We're all in this together. It's the right thing to do, because it is the thing to do. And leaning on your other teammates and your other partners on best practices and what works for you and what didn't work for them. And I'm hoping that I can meet as many of you as possible to share our best practices and our failures, because there are things that you learned along the way that works best and things that don't work. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce my teammate, Lori. She's been with USA for about 6 months. I've been with USA for 12 years. I'm not going anywhere, but hopefully she's not either. But she's been with us for 6 months, and I just want her to share a little bit about her journey, about coming to USAA from a military spouse perspective as well. Lori?
Hi, everybody. So I've been a Navy spouse for about 15 years, and in that time, we've moved across the country, like she said, Virginia, California, over to Virginia, and then back to Germany for a few years too, and had quite a few breaks of employment in that time, whether it was having children and not having family close to help support me, or going back to school only for it to be interrupted by another PCS. So I never got the certifications that I was trying to reach for. I never got the additional education that I was looking for because of all the moves and supporting my husband while he was deployed on the ship. So once we got back from Germany, I had a large break in my employment, and I thought, this is really overwhelming. But there's huge programs out there now, much like MSEP, that wasn't there when I first started as a military spouse. And it's been a great support system. That's how I found USAA. And we've been USAA customers for 15, 20 years now. And they've lived up to everything that they say they do in terms of supporting the military community. I wasn't scared to tell them that I was a military spouse. Normally you kind of avoid that during interviews because they don't want to invest in you if they think you're going to leave within a year or two. But I didn't have any fear going to USAA because I knew that they supported the military community. They would support me, and they're very patient with my possible needing to relocate and my husband possibly retiring. They are very understanding that the military takes precedence, that I'm at the mercy of the military, but they're willing to support me every step of the way. And they're really encouraging in helping me get certified in my position so that should I need to carry that elsewhere, that's something that I will have in my back pocket. So I'm really excited to be able to work for USAA and work for a company that I know supports me and my family and my husband in the military. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Chrissy and Lori, for sharing those insights, and thank you to USAA for your ongoing commitment to military spouse employment. If you ask someone to provide a word that defines the military, you will hear words like volunteer, service, or commitment. If you ask a soldier, an airman, a Marine, a sailor, or a guardian, they will add integrity, duty, honor, or sacrifice. Many of these same words are found in the slogans of today's inductees and enduring partners. Whether you go all the way back to General George Washington's Continental Army or look at the military of today, words such as precision, teamwork, mission focused, and selflessness. To provide us with a demonstration of how each of these words plays a role in today's military, MSEP is proud to present the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. The 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, traces its lineage back to George Washington's original Continental Army, and today serves as the Army's official escort to the President of the United States. In 1960, the Fife and Drum Corps was organized to participate in official ceremonies and to revive our Army's musical heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps.
to give you some context and some information about us, because as you can see, we're very unique in our uniforms and the instruments that we play and the sound of our music. So once again, the U.S. Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. We are a part of the Old Guard on Fort Myer, Joint Base Myer-Henderson Hall. We are primarily ceremonial as a part of the Old Guard. That's our primary mission. But we get to do a lot of outreach too, being one of the Army bands is one of our primary missions, is to come out and do shows and to represent the heritage of American music. The Corps started in 1960. It was founded from infantrymen of the Old Guard. So they kind of went down to the barracks and they said, we're starting a Fife and Drum Corps. Who played saxophone in high school? Come on down, you're in the Fife and Drum Corps now. And so that's how the Corps got started. We've come a very long way since then. We now have an extensive auditioning process, and everybody here has had an extended musical background, whether it be extended school or many, many years playing the instruments that you're hearing today before auditioning and then joining the Corps. We're one of the 4 special bands of the Army. So you might know the U.S. Army Band Pershing Zone. They're also on Joint Base Myer-Henderson Hall with us right down the road. The U.S. Army Field Band, their primary mission is touring. So
as you can tell. Historically, these instruments would have been heard on the battlefield. Obviously, we represent colonial times with the uniforms and the instruments. So the instruments were used back then for entertainment, but mostly to give commands to the troops. So if you think back, George Washington's Continental Army, no iPhones, right? Not even any radios. So communication was done through the musicians. So mostly snare drums and fifes. And so that's why they're so loud. They can be heard a mile away. Usually we are playing outside, so we won't be offended if we see you cover your ears a little bit today. But what happened was the officers would use the musicians to send commands to the troops. So there would be a fife tune or a drum rudiment that meant something like a code. And so all the troops had to understand when they heard that tune, that's what this means. And so that brings me to the uniforms. We look British, but we're not. We're U.S. Army. We get a lot. Why are your coats red? You think the red coats are coming. In fact, the coats that the musicians wore were the reverse color of the infantry that they were attached to. So you think the infantry blue with the red trim, the red cuffs. So the musicians wore the opposite, red coats with blue trim and blue cuffs, so that the officers could easily identify the musicians on the battlefield in order to give those commands. Secondarily, it identified us as non-combatants. We're not armed. Please don't shoot. Of course, it happened because of the din and chaos of battle, but that was a secondary reason to be wearing the reverse colors. I'm going to hand it off here to some individuals from the Corps to talk a little bit more about a minute on the actual specific instruments. So we're having Sergeant First Class Owen here to talk about the fight.
Good afternoon. How are you guys doing today? Great. My name is Sergeant First Class Andrew Owen. I'm one of the fifers in the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. And by show of hands, how many of you have heard of a fife before today? Most people. How about a flute or a piccolo? Probably more people. This is the cousin to that instrument. It is a field instrument, so its main purpose was for communication, as our drum major, Sergeant Morgan, was saying. It's a very basic, primitive instrument. We've added some things to modernize it a little bit, but typically they would have been one piece of hardwood board hollowed through the center. And you have an embouchure hole that you can blow across to create a pitch, and that air is forced through the pipe by a port about where my fingers are. And then we've added 6 to 10 finger holes here to change the pitch of that tone. It's a very basic instrument. Would have been 2.5 to 3 octaves that you could have performed on. The lower end of those octaves is a little bit more pleasant. You might have done dances or played inside. The higher end would have been used to communicate on and off the battlefield, to tell the soldiers what to do. How would they do that? They would memorize it. It would be specific to their unit. And whenever their commanding officer wanted to tell them to do something, march forward, retreat, ceasefire, something of that nature, he would tell them to play the snippet of music. So I'm going to need your help for this next part, and we'll see how much music you can listen to. Good job.
And Master Sergeant Mark Matrinko is going to talk about the bugle.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Master Sergeant Mark Matrinko. I'm a bugler with the U.S. Army Fife and Drum Corps, and I'm also one of the unique members that is also a military spouse, because my wife is active duty as well. I'll start with the same question that Sergeant Owen started with. Who here has played a custom thumb action rotary valve bugle? Nobody? Not even one? Okay, well, probably about only 4 of us, well, 24 of us in the whole world has ever played this instrument. This is made specifically for us. Now, we sort of blur the lines a little bit with the brass history in the military, because traditionally in the Revolutionary War, the bugle wasn't really there yet. It wasn't necessarily part of the military history, but there were natural trumpets, which is similar but different in ways. It's a much longer instrument, and it was more of a civic instrument rather than a military instrument. And the area had to be pretty wealthy to afford those and have the musicians to play them. When you get closer to the Civil War, that's when you start to see the bugle be more prominent. So we're sort of blurring the lines, but kind of filling a gap in military history as well. And what we do, we started in 1960 on open wrap bugles where there was nothing inside of it. You can see this is jam-packed with all sorts of metal. So you guys, I'm sure, all recognize an open wrap bugle. And then we switched to one valve so that we can play some more interesting melodic material with the pipes. And then just recently, about 2 years ago, we added a second valve. But in order to kind of keep the blurred kind of history of it, where it looks like a bugle, we keep everything inside. So what you're hearing us play is actually with our thumbs. I don't know if you can see that. So we have almost the entire access of a B-flat trumpet, but we have to do it with all of our thumbs. So I'll play just a little bit for you so you can hear. This would be an open bugle call. I'm sure you all recognize that. Then we went to a one-valve instrument. And then we added a second valve. So from the top, you can't even see my hands moving at all. It just kind of looks like a bugle. So that's the instrument that we use. Also wanted to point out one other interesting fact about the musicians during the Revolutionary War. So back in the Revolutionary War, they did not have a music school for the military. We do now, but even still, they don't teach them how to play an instrument. You can't get someone off the street who's never played, have them join the Army, and then teach them from scratch. You just can't do that. So what they did is they found people who could already play, and they promoted them to a higher rank. And they did that all the way back during George Washington's time. So sometimes you would have an infantryman whose son was the drummer, and he got paid more. So it's a pretty interesting fact. We still do that today. There are two classes of bands in the military. We have special bands and Romeo bands, regular bands. Those bands start at an E4, and then the special bands start at an E6. And it's just the different levels of responsibility and what we bring to the Army and the quality of musician you need to bring in to do that mission right from the start. Those kind of interesting fact about military music, something we continue to do today. Thank you so much. I know you're all waiting for the drums because they're always the best, so I'll turn it over to them.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Staff Sergeant Kevin Hanrahan. I'm one of the drummers, specifically the bass drummer, one of 7 with the Fife and Drum Corps. As you can see, we have 2 different types of drums, bass drums and snare drums. So some interesting things about the point of this instrument is that these instruments are designed after instruments that you would see during the Revolutionary War, and particularly what you would see in the Continental Army. The size of them, and they are all laced together with rope. Whereas you would see marching drums today, either in a marching band or maybe a drum corps or something like during the Super Bowl. There would be metal on the drums, and they would be a lot smaller. Well, back then we didn't really have the foundries to craft the metal pieces to hold the drums together. So this would be tied together with one singular piece of rope. The snare drums have about 30 to 40 feet of rope, and the bass drums have up to as much as 60 feet of rope. The materials used in the drum, obviously the drums are made of wood. It's pretty light comparably to metal drums because I'm holding it with one hand, so there you go. Except for maybe the drum heads. We use a synthetic material on top and bottom, as well as these little wires on bottom. They're called snares. Traditionally they would be called guts because they were made out of guts. Yeah. Usually that of squirrels, rabbits, cats. So sorry, Fluffy, I need a drum. Lastly, something neat about our drums in particular is that this artwork on the front, it is all hand painted. Every single instrument that we have. The streamers that you see on either side, that represents every single battle that the Old Guard has been a part of since the founding of the Old Guard in 1784. And in the center you see the Old Guard crest. So these are our drums with our logos, our paint. No one else is allowed to use them, and we love them very, very much. Thank you.
Rest of our show for you today. I wanted to point out too, Kevin kind of touched on it. We have 70 total members of the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. We just have a small contingent here today, so that allows us to operate multiple contingent missions, just like the Army requires. And so this is just one of our shows that we have, our 12-person show: 4 fifes, 4 bugles, 3 drums, and drum major makes 12. So we'll go on with our show. This next part is going to feature each group, each instrument that you just heard about, you'll hear a bugle feature first, followed by a fife feature, and then some music, and then the drums are going to throw down with a fiery drum solo at the end. Feel free to applaud, they like that. Following that, you'll hear just a little bit of a funeral march called Roslyn Castle, but we pick it up quickly into the end, and then I think you'll recognize the last tune. I won't tell you what it is, but it's our signature melody.
since we're focused on employment, I would be remiss if I did not point out while pulling some info from their website last night, the Old Guard currently has openings for snare drum, bugle, and fife musicians. If you are interested, I'm sure that someone in the room can point you to the nearest recruiting station. How about one more round of applause for the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps? You didn't know you were going to get some military history when you came to the induction ceremony this year. What do you think? Are you ready to induct some new partners in the MSEP? Mr. Cisneros, Mrs. Barron, will you please join us on the stage? Each partner will be called to the stage to finalize their commitment to recruiting, hiring, promoting, and most importantly, retaining military spouses when possible by signing our statement of support here on the stage. As we progress through the companies, some of which you will be familiar with, and others that you have never heard of, listen to the diversity they bring as employers and to the commitments they are making to the military spouse community. Partners, remember the most important thing is to leave the Sharpie on the stage. We've gone through this morning several times. Don't forget. So let's get started. 22nd Century Technologies Incorporated. 22nd Century Technologies is a fast-growing IT consulting and staffing firm with more than 6,000 employees based in McLean, Virginia. They support contracts in federal, state, and local government environments, including more than 1,000 employees with security clearances. They are committed to hiring for remote placements and for placements with opportunities for growth. Signing the statement of support is Sean Connor, Portfolio Manager. Act Now Education. Act Now Education Organization Incorporated is a 501c3 that delivers free, comprehensive educational resources and opportunities to help inspire and empower our military community with upskilling, reskilling, and utilizing career-enhancing opportunities. Act Now Education has collaborated with organizations that know the value military spouses bring to the table and hire them for jobs once they complete the training or certification they are interested in. Signing the statement of support is Banal Patel, Vice President. Activist Connect. Activist Connect is a premium customer experience outsourcing solutions provider operating across the United States and Puerto Rico. Activist Connect strives to partner with like-minded organizations that are doing important work. They are committed to the mission of MSEP and are honored to be a new MSEP partner to bring additional visibility to U.S.-based jobs that are flexible and agile. Signing the statement of support is Ms. Susie Baffin, COO. American Systems is one of the largest 100% employee-owned companies in the United States, dedicated to supporting our government and military by delivering strategic solutions for complex national priority programs. American Systems is committed to being a truly military-centric organization that identifies, enhances, and fulfills the careers, interests, and well-being of military spouses. Signing the statement of support is Mr. Peter Smith, CEO and President. Ascension. At Ascension, their commitment to patients and families begin with the doctors, nurses, and care teams serving in their hospitals and care sites across the country. Ascension provides long-term career growth, geographic mobility, and advancement opportunities based on a broad operations footprint. Ascension commits to promoting talent from within and offers a broad range of professional training and development programs, as well as work-from-home options. Signing a statement of support is Sandra Balboa, Vice President, Operations, Talent Strategy, and Innovation. Ailstock, Witkin, Kreis, and Overholtz. AWKO is a law firm geared towards protecting the rights of consumers who are seriously injured due to defective products and medical devices, accidents, or other negligent behavior. AWKO is an employer looking for diverse perspectives, worldviews, and innovative ways of thinking. Military spouses bring the ability to multitask and adapt, and not just survive but thrive in an ever-shifting environment. Signing the statement of support is Donna La Marston, Firm Administrator and Vice President of Human Resources. BCD Travel. partners with travel and procurement leaders to simplify the complexities of business travel, drive savings and satisfaction, and move whole companies toward their goals. Two of their company's core values, act with purpose and feed the future, align with the goals of MSEP. Creating new career opportunities for military spouses honors and supports those who have given themselves to a life of service and helps BCD Travel to grow a workforce that is adaptable and diverse. That's not only good, it's good business. Signing the statement of support is Yvette Bryant, Senior Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion. BroadPath has a commitment to home-based talent and innovative workforce technology, enabling BroadPath to deliver unrivaled quality, flexibility, and transparency. Their passion for finding better ways to help clients led BroadPath to develop a more comprehensive managed service solution. BroadPath is committed to offering flexible remote job opportunities and opportunities for growth, development, and advancement for military spouses. They understand that portability is very important and are committed to honoring that need. Signed in a statement of support is John Rivera, Vice President of Human Resources. Canon USA. As a leader in digital imaging solutions, Canon is committed to recruiting and retaining a diverse global workforce. The Military Spouse Employment Partnership allows Canon to embrace the unique perspectives of this community while supporting our mutual values of communication, fairness, mutual respect, and integrity. Signing the statement of support is Lisa Chung, Director, Talent Acquisition, University Relations, and Diversity and Inclusion. Conagra Brands. Conagra Brands, headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, combines a rich heritage of making great food with a sharpened focus and entrepreneurial spirit. Conagra is modernizing their iconic food brands, leveraging fresh opportunities and adapting to a changing landscape, all with a culture that's ready to capture growth and drive value. Conagra has committed to increasing opportunities for growth and relocation assistance for military spouses within their organization to promote a diverse and inclusive workforce. Signing the statement of support is Vincent Shorter, Vice President of Information Technology. Conifer Health is a partner in care for hospitals and health systems, physician groups, employers, and unions. Conifer Health provides revenue cycle and value-based care solutions that optimize financial performance, improve business outcomes, and elevate the healthcare experience. Conifer plans to work with MSEP to ensure to post jobs, interview candidates, and participate in hiring events targeting military spouses. Signing the statement of support is Dina Dunn, Chief Director of Human Resources. Contracting Resources Group, or CRG, is a woman-owned small business and professional services provider for the Department of Defense. CRG brings professionals, processes, and solutions to meet the mission and offer a culture of customer service, sincerity, openness, and company pride. CRG values the many sacrifices military spouses make for their warfighters. They appreciate the many attributes they bring to the civilian workforce through their candor, commitment, and strong work ethic. Signing the statement of support is Dina DiPaolo, CEO. Core Team is a woman-owned, military spouse-owned, nationwide professional and IT recruiting and executive search firm. Core Team is uniquely positioned to create employment connections for the military spouse community, as many of their thousands of annual job postings are remote roles that can be formed from any location. Signing the statement of support is Kirsten Overly, Senior Director, IT Recruiting. Cushman & Wakefield. Cushman & Wakefield is a global commercial real estate company managing around 5 billion square feet of property globally. Cushman & Wakefield desires the best talent from across the globe. Military spouses represent this talent, and they have extensive internal and external resources to attract, hire, and promote them within their business. Signing a statement of support is Tanya Seifert, Managing Director for Cushman & Wakefield. Daniello Institute for Veterans and Military Families, commonly referred to as IVMF, delivers no-cost career training and entrepreneurship programs across the U.S. and globally. The IVMS also conducts actionable research, policy analysis, and program evaluations for corporations and a multitude of other veteran service organizations. Through MSEP, the IVMF will expand outreach to military spouses to increase awareness of and participation in IVMF employment and entrepreneurship programs. IVMF will also share MSEP and Spouse Ambassador Network information throughout its comprehensive networks. Signing the statement of support is Ms. Barbara Carson, Managing Director of Programs and Services. Easter Seals UCP of North Carolina and Virginia. Easter Seals UCP provides meaningful and exceptional services that children, adults, and families living with disabilities, behavioral health challenges, and autism can live, learn, work, and play in their communities. EPS Corporation. EPS Corporation was founded by Francisco Mosarafidi, a Navy veteran, alongside his daughter, Antoinette, in 1983. Today, Ms. Musa Rafidi owns EPS and runs the company with the same commitment to veterans and their families as her father, while continuing to provide quality products and support services to the United States military and federal government. Signing the statement of support is Kelly Maritzis, Vice President of Human Resources. Fit Scientific is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business that offers professional and engineering technical services in the areas of general engineering, logistics support, training, and education. Fit Scientific is led and staffed by veterans who understand the value and work ethic of military spouses and the challenges of relocation. They seek to recruit and employ military spouses to ease the relocation stress and continue to better serve their DoD clients. Signing the statement of support is Arthur Barlow, Jr., Deputy Program Manager. French Consulting is a veteran-owned business providing contracted management consulting, support, and services to the DoD with the primary focus of their efforts in Europe. French Consulting has made a concerted effort to recruit, hire, and provide career opportunities, especially for military spouses, family members, veterans, retirees, and expats when fulfilling overseas project requirements. With over 90% of their workforce consisting of military spouses, French Consulting is committed to continuing giving back to OCONUS military spouses when possible. Signing the statement of support is Benjamin French, CEO and owner. Garmin International. With just under 20,000 associates in 34 countries, Garmin brings GPS navigation and wearable technology to the automotive, aviation, marine, outdoor, and fitness markets. The foundation of Garmin International's culture is honesty, integrity, and respect, and these values happen to align well with the mission of MSEP to connect military spouses with meaningful employers and opportunities. Signing a statement of support is Patrick Dubois, Executive Vice President. Government Tactical Solutions is a veteran-owned national security firm that is committed to supporting military families and veterans through hiring initiatives and beyond. They have built a company culture that allows veterans and military spouses to thrive in their careers and personal lives. Signing a statement of support is Paul Sanchez, Chief Executive Officer. Great Clips is North America's largest salon brand with over 4,400 salons owned by more than 700 franchisees and employing over 26,000 stylists across all 50 states. Great Clips is proud to support the military community. Their franchisees are excited to meet military spouse stylists in their communities and foster referrals if they relocate to other locations. Signing a statement of support is Jared Nippen, Vice President of Talent. Great Hearts Academies is a growing network of 43 public open enrollment tuition-free schools in San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Phoenix, and opening in fall of 23, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Great Hearts is eminently interested in recruiting military veteran and military spouses talent for both teaching and business professional roles. Their partnership with MSEP, SkillBridge, and Hire Our Heroes strengthen and align with their orientation to local community outreach, especially as they're happy to have many academies offices in regions with a high concentration of installations. Signing the statement of support is Cayenne Mapes, Senior Vice President of Talent. Hunt Companies is a diversified family-owned holding company that invests in operating businesses, real estate assets, and infrastructure assets. They recognize that military spouses have unique insights, abilities, and skills to serve their military residents. With 44 locations inside or in proximity of military installations across the U.S. and many remote work opportunities, Hunt Companies has a unique advantage to support job mobility and career development for the military spouse community. Signing a statement of support is Ann Patrick, Executive Vice President and Chief Human Resource Officer. Interagency Veterans Advisory Council. IVAC is the federal council that supports the recruitment, acclimatization, retention, and promotion of veterans, military reservists, National Guard personnel, and military family members in the federal civilian workforce. IVAC is comprised of the leadership from each department and the agency's military veteran and military spouse employment resource group, HR professionals, and program managers. Interagency Veterans Advisory Council is committed to ensuring that military spouses are recruited, retained, promoted, and supported in the federal civilian workforce. Signing the statement of support is Lloyd Calderon, Chair of the IVAC. Intuit is committed to excellence, motivated by mission, and driven by a sense of purpose. The Intuit Military and Veteran Initiative is their commitment to help transform the lives of military families and veterans through community, jobs, and financial empowerment. Their mission aligns with MSEP goal as they proudly employ hundreds of top talent military veterans, military spouses, and their family members. And Intuit strives to increase that every year. Signing the statement of support is Derek Plummer, Director of Corporate Communications. KPMG is a global network of professional firms providing audit, tax, and advisory services. Their multidisciplinary approach and deep practical industry knowledge help clients meet challenges and respond to opportunities. KPMG's commitment to veterans and military spouses extends to partnerships with a wide range of organizations that support the military to civilian transition. Together, KPMG provides an inclusive culture that recognizes veteran and military spouse talent and support the communities where they work. Signing the statement of support is Robert Dwyer, Principal Advisor. Matrix Providers serves America's extended military family by placing healthcare providers within the government's contracted medical staffing system. Since 2010, Matrix has been committed to aligning exceptional healthcare workers to the government sector by utilizing the best commercial staffing industry practices. They have always considered military spouse status to be a valued population in their candidate pool and have employed thousands of military spouse healthcare workers across the country. Signing the statement of support is Dr. William Rivard, President and CEO. Maurice's is a women's apparel retailer established in 1931 and is known for its friendly service, trusted stylist, and for being guided by its greater purpose of making a positive difference in the lives of women who are the heart of its hometowns. With over 550 store locations near military installations, as well as select remote opportunities, Maurice's goal is to be a strong partner in hiring military spouses while offering flexibility to relocate military spouses across the country. Maurice's has been a strong supporter of military causes through philanthropic work and believes this partnership is another way to demonstrate commitment to military families. Signing a statement of support is Sue Ross, Senior Vice President, Chief of HR and Communications. Medic Staffing Solutions provides workforce solutions to clients and creates opportunities for talent in the healthcare, life sciences, engineering, and technology fields. They are dedicated to positive impacting lives through their diverse career opportunities for military spouses. Medic's remote offices, in conjunction with their nationwide locations, gives military spouses the ability to grow within their career while continuing to be connected no matter where they are located. Signing the statement of support is Sarah Carter, Client Success Manager. MedPro Group. As the nation's first provider of healthcare liability insurance, MedPro is an organization with over 1,100 employees committed to protecting healthcare professionals who dedicate their lives to serving our communities by providing them high-quality healthcare liability insurance coverage. MedPro Group is dedicated to hiring, retaining, and promoting high-quality military spouses to serve their healthcare professionals. Signing the statement of support is Jessica Boatwright, Corporate and Coverage Counsel. MI Technical Solutions is a global information technology and engineering company that operates in 14 locations around the world with its headquarters in Chesapeake, Virginia, and consists of almost 60% employees being veterans and or military spouses. Their benefits and policies are tailored to provide the unique support needed for retention and promotion through offering flexible work schedules and opportunities to transfer locations. Signing the statement of support is Melissa Sipple, President. Military Spouse Chamber of Commerce. The Military Spouse Chamber mission is to ensure that all active duty and veteran military spouse business owners have the tools and resources they need to strengthen their families, communities, and our economy. They advocate and bring a voice to the unique needs of military spouse business owners and will continue to partner with organizations and policy makers that can help remove barriers for their for these business owners. Signing a statement of support is Beth Conlin, Board Chair. Monster Worldwide. Monster is a global leader in connecting people and jobs. For 25 years, Monster has worked to transform the recruiting industry. Monster is a proud employer of veterans and military spouses, as well as other family members. Partnering with their Veterans and Military Family Employee Resource Group, they focus on creating a community where veterans and military spouses can leverage their expertise to help create the best experiences for their employers and candidates every day. Signing the statement of support is Sarah Blansett, Vice President. Mr. Cooper Group provides customer-centric servicing, organization, and transaction-based services related to single-family residences throughout the United States. Its flagship brand, Mr. Cooper, is one of the largest home loan servicers in the country, focused on delivering a personalized and friction-free customer experience. Mr. Cooper Group appreciates the service and sacrifice military members, veterans, and their families have made to serve our country. As a show of their support, they are committed to providing career opportunities to military spouses, as well as helping veterans as they transition to the next chapter of their career. Signing the statement of support is Joe Adams, Vice President, Customer Care Solutions. National University is a leading nonprofit university that was veteran-founded in 1971 by a U.S. Navy captain and provides relevant education to more than 40,000 students globally. 25% of their students are military affiliated, and they employ over 3,300 employees nationwide. National University is fully dedicated to serving military families through the recruitment, development, and promotion of our valued military spouse workforce. NU is honored to collaborate at job fairs, bolster the partner portal with career opportunities, and to help educate workforce executives and hiring managers to fully harness the incredible skills and meaningful contributions of our military spouses. Signing the statement of support is Meg O'Grady, Senior Vice President, Military and Government Affairs. I'm going to pause for a second and go off script. I think it's important to note that not only did Meg sit in the same role that I did as the program manager for the SECO program, but I believe this is the third time that she has come across this stage to sign a partner's support. So Meg, thank you for your ongoing support of military spouse employment. NetApp is an American hybrid cloud data services and data management company headquartered in San Jose, California. The talent which comes from any military spouse and MSEPs is such a valuable resource for NetApp. Their people are the most valuable part of their company. NetApp has implemented the ability for a spouse to identify their status in the application process and will establish goals of getting a baseline, then increasing it annually moving forward. Signing a statement of support is retired Rear Admiral Julia Caesar, Business Development Manager of Federal Sales. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. The Office of the Comptroller charters, regulates, and supervises all national banks and federal savings associations, as well as federal branches and agencies of foreign banks. The OCC is an independent bureau of the U.S. Department of the Treasury and is led by the Comptroller of the Currency. The OCC's strategic plan states its commitment to sustaining an enterprise pipeline of talented, skilled, experienced, and diverse employees. When recruiting, the OCC works to reach people who reflect these traits, including actively recruiting military spouses into its ranks. Signing the statement of support is Cassandra Cuffey-Graves, Deputy Comptroller for Human Capital. Palo Alto Networks. Palo Alto is a global cybersecurity leader, continually growing and delivering innovation to enable secure digital transformation and protect our digital way of life, even as the pace of change is accelerating. Palo Alto Networks understands the sacrifices of military families and knows that the military spouse community is an untapped resource. They have made the commitment to hiring military spouses by launching their veteran military outreach programs and launching a veterans employee networking group. Signing the statement of support is retired Major General U.S. Army John Davis, Vice President. PAPA is creating a new kind of healthcare built on human connection across the country. PAPA's network of companions, called Papa Pals, provide vital social support to older adults and families. PAPA offers flexible Papa Pal roles, say that 10 times, where military spouses can make a difference through part-time work in thousands of communities across the U.S., as well as 100% remote full-time jobs. By providing a range of opportunities that can seamlessly move with military spouses as they relocate, PAPA can help lighten the load for those who are giving so much. Signing the statement of support is Ann Mello, VP for Client Success. Paychex, a leading provider of integrated human capital management solutions for payroll, benefits, human resources, and insurance services. It is important that Paychex represents the communities they serve. The nature of the workforce is changing, and Paychex is aligned with flexibility, longevity, and portability needed to fit the unique lifestyles of military veterans and spouses. Signing the statement of support is Jeff Williams, Vice President, Enterprise and Human Resources. PsychArmor As a nationally recognized nonprofit and training provider for military cultural awareness, PsychArmor serves members of the military connected community, the military connected community, and anyone who wants to engage with them more effectively. PsychArmor supports military spouse employment both as an employer with a thriving hybrid workplace, but also through specialized content that trains employers on how to best attract and retain these valued employees. They also offer a complete military spouse employment portfolio free to individual learners on topics such as networking, interviewing, and resume writing. Signing a statement of support is Carol Turner, Vice President, Strategic Communications. Quantix SCS is the leading supply chain services company to the chemical industry. Quantix has a vast amount of military veterans representation in all divisions and is committed to expanding its support of the military community by hiring military spouses. Currently, Quantix has over 50 locations across the United States, including on-site and remote opportunities, which they hope to provide optionals and flexibility for military spouses. Quantix strive to seek out talented, diverse people and provide equal opportunities in all aspects of employment, and they are excited to partner with MSEP to further broaden their diverse workforce. Citing a statement of support is Julie Block, Chief People Officer. Respect preserves their natural resources through technical consulting via engineering, science, and technical expertise. They recruit employee owners for Respect with intent that they are supported and grow with the company from hire to retire. Respect offers flexible work arrangements and scheduling and location based on the business need and employee desire. Respect provides challenging positions and promote from within across all divisions. Signing this statement of support is Regina Kroll, Chief People Officer. Save the Children believes every child deserves a future in the United States and around the world. They work every day to give children a healthy start in life, the opportunity to learn, and protection from harm. Save the Children is committed to recruiting military spouses, hiring, retaining, and promoting them in an environment that encourages, supports, and understands their day-to-day needs in life. Save the Children aligns with the mission of MSEP and will work with MSEP to create a lasting partnership. Signing a statement of support is Emily Rendon, Senior Director of Chief of Staff, Human Resources, People and Culture. Serco is the North America division of Serco Group, one of the world's leading service companies headquartered in the United Kingdom. In North America, Serco serves federal, state, and local government, helping their customers deliver vital services more efficiently. The benefits Serco offers and the partnership they've established are just the beginning of Serco's commitment to veterans and military spouses, as they have a growing Serco Vets employee resource group that provides a forum for Serco veterans, military spouses, and allies to find a sense of community and camaraderie among their peers to connect, network, and grow as professionals. Signing the statement of support is Michael Anderson, Vice President of Business Center. Savita is a leading provider of home and community-based specialized healthcare since 1967. They serve adults and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities, individuals with complex care needs, people recovering from brain and spinal cord injury, seniors in need of daily support, children in foster care, and adults and children with autism. Today, 40,000 team members continue to innovate and enhance care for the 50,000 individuals they serve. And Savita looks forward to increasing their hires to include military spouses. Signing the statement of support is Paul Norman, Vice President for Talent Acquisition. Siemens is a global innovator focusing on digitalization, electrification, and automation for the process and manufacturing industries, and is a leader in power generation and distribution, intelligent infrastructure, and distributed energy systems. For nearly 175 years, the company has developed technologies that support multiple American industries, including manufacturing, energy, healthcare, and infrastructure. Siemens is committed to actively creating job opportunities for America's military spouses. Siemens appreciates their intelligent, well-traveled, and resilient military spouses that have joined their team. Signing the statement of support is Brandy Henson, Head of Federal Government. Sofidel America is a subsidiary of the Sofidel Group, one of the leading manufacturers of paper for hygienic and domestic use worldwide. Established in 2012, Sofidel America is headquartered in Horsham, Pennsylvania, and operates manufacturing plants in 6 additional states. The Sofidel Group has subsidiaries in 12 countries and employs more than 6,500 employees. Sofidel is a multinational corporation, and hiring military spouses is a perfect alignment with their company expansion plans worldwide. Signing a statement of support is Ms. Rita Beloff, Talent Acquisition Manager. Southern New Hampshire University. Since 1932, SNHU has challenged the status quo of higher education. SNHU is in the business of hope because they serve students for whom education is not a guarantee, from working parents and military service members to refugees and beyond. Through organization, partnership, internal practice, communities of connection, and a powerful extended network of military-affiliated employees, they proudly uplift their community at every stage of their professional careers at SNHU. Signing the statement of support is Rebecca Hoy, Associate Vice President, Strategic Talent Attraction and Diversity. SPS Global is an award-winning global full-service provider of outsourced services to Fortune 500 and high-level companies in more than 22 countries. SPS is at the forefront of comprehensive service such as mailroom services, office service, and digital document processing. SPS is committed to investing in the professional development and careers of our veterans, military spouses, and military family members. Currently, their employees span across more than 30 states, and SPS prides itself on transfer and promotion. Opportunities for their military-affiliated members as they are called upon for their duty to relocate with the needs of the armed forces. Signing the statement of support is Alex Burgess, Chief Operating Officer for SPS. Sunny Days Sunshine Center offers children and their families a place for developmental services and autism spectrum disorder therapy. Sunshine Center facilities are dedicated to children of all ages who may be experiencing challenges with learning, social skills, sensory processing, speech, language difficulties, and motor development. Sunny Days Sunshine Center looks forward to partnering with MSEP to recruit, hire, and retain military spouse talent. Signing the statement of support is Elise Bass, Director of Human Resources. TD Bank is the 6th largest bank in North America by branches, serving approximately 24 million customers in several locations in key financial centers around the globe. Their mission to give their clients the best banking experience possible every day. To accomplish this, TD Bank depends on a team of more than 80,000 talented, ambitious people, especially military spouses who share their passion for excellence. Whether a spouse possesses years of banking experience or are just starting their careers in financial services, TD Bank allows their employees to realize their full potential and achieve their career goals. Signing the statement of support is Robert Opp, Sourcer, Veteran, and Individuals with Diverse Abilities. TIAG is an innovative technology company providing strategic solutions to private industry and across the Department of Defense and federal government. They employ an ensemble of talent to solve the complex challenges faced by our military and civilian sectors of government and seek out the most technologically advanced ways to safeguard and support those who do the same for our nation. Opportunities at TIAG span geographical regions and a broad client base, which offers opportunity for a long-time career to include advancement opportunity within the same organization. Signing the statement of support is Neil Lampton, President and COO. Transcom Worldwide is a global leader in customer experience solutions for international brands. Transcom employs over 31,000 people in 26 countries, and in North America, they provide 100% work-from-home opportunities through 26 states and 6 provinces. Transcom is passionate about their people and committed to building a valuable partnership with MSEP. Transcom's virtual business model is ideal for motivated military spouses looking to grow their career and who can benefit from portable employment opportunities within their remote hiring footprint. Signing the statement of support is Karen Sweeten, Vice President of Global Client Services. The U.S. Department of Justice. The overall mission of the DOJ is to uphold the rule of law, to keep our country safe, and to protect our civil rights. The department is made up of 32 offices, boards, divisions, and bureaus with a wide range of functions. The department's commitment to military spouses is to offer competitive, diverse, and inclusive public service job opportunities and careers whereby military spouses can utilize and expand their skill sets, competencies, and knowledge. The DOJ's wide positions involve work that includes transferable skills, which can be found in comparable public, private, and nonprofit work environment. Signing the statement of support is Michael Sina, Assistant Director for Human Resources Policy and Advisory Services. U.S. Pharmacopoeia. USP is an independent and scientific nonprofit organization focused on building trust in the supply of safe, quality medicines. Through the dedicated efforts of full-time staff and over 1,000 volunteers globally, both work together to strengthen the global supply chain so that the medicines people rely on for health are available when needed and work as expected. USP's mission-driven culture is committed to providing a diverse and inclusive workplace community that attracts and supports transitioning military, their spouses, and families through flexible schedules and work locations while offering career success and personal growth opportunities. Signing the statement of support is Thomas Watkins, Director of Talent Acquisition. U.S. Express. Their mission is to make goods move better every day. With more than 35 years in business, U.S. Express knows that people are the key to their success. They continue to build a diverse team from within and outside the transportation and logistics industry. They value the commitment and service of military veterans and their families. U.S. Express remains steadfast in their efforts to hire veterans and military spouses by offering meaningful employment, career development, and workplace flexibilities. Signing a statement of support is Morgan Dolan, Senior Maintenance Recruiting Manager for U.S. Express. U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID or USAID, is the world's premier international development agency and a catalytic actor driving development results. USAID's work advances U.S. national security and economic prosperity, demonstrates American generosity, and promotes a path to recipient self-reliance and resilience. USAID is committed to recruiting, hiring, retaining, and promoting military spouses' talent, which will enhance the performance capacity of the agency's workforce. Signing a statement of support is Alicia Pearson, Vets Employment Program Manager. University of Dayton. Founded in 1850 by the Society of Mary, the University of Dayton is a top-tier research university distinguished by their academics, research, and community involvement. They recognize the military is essential to the strength of our nation and are committed to supporting the spouses of our service members through rewarding career opportunities. Signing a statement of support is Troy Washington, Vice President of Human Resources. Waldorf University is a military-friendly institution founded in 1903 with support in place for active duty veterans and their family members to include scholarship opportunities. Waldorf offers online degree programs which make it flexible for adult learning to work on their degree program from anywhere or when it's convenient for them. With many of the school's administrators being military spouses already, they understand the challenges military spouses face with finding employment. Waldorf recognizes the unique mobile lifestyle of military spouses who support active duty members and plans on expanding to more installations and will offer remote employment opportunities. Signing the statement of support is Corey Brown, VP for Online Operations, Marketing, and Research. Washington State Department of Veteran Affairs. Washington State Department of Veteran Affairs connects veterans and their family members to benefits and services they've earned through their military service and offers programs and advocacy for the military community in their state. WDVA's Military Spouse Initiative includes the first military spouse liaison in the country and is dedicated to reducing and removing employment barriers for military spouses. WDVA is committed to recruiting, hiring, retaining, and advancing military spouse talent within their own agency to fulfill their mission of serving those who served. Signing a statement of support is Olivia Burley, Washington State Military Spouse Liaison. WestRock partners with their customers to provide sustainable paper and packaging solutions that helps them win in the marketplace. WestRock leverages its 50,000 team members to support customers around the world from locations spanning North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Accountability, excellence, integrity, and respect are the stated values at WestRock that they regularly observe in candidates with military backgrounds. They encourage military spouses who have experience in maintenance, production, operations, engineering, supply chain, procurement, logistics, quality, safety, accounting, finance, IT, or human resources. I think we covered them all, to apply for opportunities on their team. Signing a statement of support is Jim Hutchinson, Area Vice President for the Southeast. And last but not least, Win Companies. Win Company's mission is to provide outstanding communities where military families live, work, and thrive. Win Companies is one of the largest managers of military housing in the country and dedicated to providing exceptional living experiences to our nation's military forces and their families with passion, integrity, and commitment. As a proud partner with MSEP, many of their team members are already military spouses who understand the unique needs of our service members and their families. Signing the statement of support is Kirsten Rich, Executive Vice President for Military Housing. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Military Spouse Employment Partnership Class of 2022. Handed me a piece of paper, lost my place. So today marks the 11th Military Spouse Employment Partnership induction ceremony. It does not end with the signing of a poster. Today, our numbers swell to more than 600 employer partners. But next week, another 30 employer partners will become part of a new initiative called MSEP Small Business, recognizing the opportunities that businesses in military-impacted communities present for our military spouse communities. And as Honorable Cisneros said earlier, we already have interviews scheduled for November for the class of 2023. More to come on this, but in January, we'll place our first Military Spouse Fellows into the DoD's new Military Spouse Career Accelerator Program. Military spouses will be placed into 12-week fellowships where they will gain valuable skills while being compensated with the goal of full-time employment at the end of their experience. Tomorrow, more than 200 of our employer partners will spend time sharing what has worked for them around recruiting and retaining military spouses. And on Thursday, we will host our first ever MSEP hiring fair, where more than 90 of our employer partners will be on site to connect with military spouse talent in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not point out that there will be a reception following today's ceremony hosted by MSEP partner Rally Point. Thank you, Rally Point, for your unwavering support of our military community. It will start at 3:30 on the 14th floor in the newly reopened Monument Room. So I hope that all of you are able to join us there. Thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations to the MSEP class of 2022. And that concludes our ceremony. Thanks, everybody.